From the Valley's News Channel, this is Channel 5 News at 5.
The city of Donna is closer to choosing a mayor and council member. We're tracking new information about the imminent runoff race. A decision is set to be made within the next half hour.
Conservatives are threatening an immigration shutdown, the move they are looking to make that could affect the entire country.
We'll get to those headlines in a moment, but first, the deep freeze sweeping the nation has made its way to the Valley, FYI. Good afternoon to you. I'm Melissa Correa.
And I'm Carrie Zayas. Oscar Adame has a day off. Temperatures were in the 80s on Monday. Today, we've been stuck in the 40s all day.
Yeah, the front is here. Is it here, though, to stay? We go to Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith for the answer. Tim, what you got?
It is going to stay chilly for a while. Right now, temperatures across the valley all in the 40s, 46 to 48 degrees across the area with that strong north-northwesterly wind. It feels like it's in the upper 30s in some places, and it's not going away anytime soon. There's still a lot of rain out there. You can see on the First 1.5 Doppler network, the eastern two-thirds of the valley covered in rain right now. Most places have seen a quarter to a half an inch of rain for the most part. Looks like tonight's a cold night. Tomorrow, another chilly day, a little warmer for the weekend, but then another front. We'll track that coming up in a few minutes.
Today's forecast is pushing Weslaco ISD into overdrive. About 400 students there are living without electricity, coats, even blankets.
Yeah, and the district is having to get creative. It doesn't have the budget for the emergency help. We learned the lack of funding isn't slowing them down. What could be considered chilly weather to some is a battle, a major challenge for others. Weslaco has dozens of colonias
where there's no power, there is no appropriate shelter for them.
A saving grace,
clothes, caps, books,
rolls out with every social worker. Emergency strategies are planned within the cinder block classroom. Right now, days are filled with home visits.
We work with students throughout the year.
Norma Brewer rallied the troops to talk weather and its effect on students.
But there are some situations where we have multiple families living in one home, in small homes.
Some homes are powerless.
Really, they had nowhere to plug the heater, so we had to act quickly and try to find an alternative place for these children to stay.
About 400 students scattered throughout 19 campuses need some type of help.
If the child's basic needs aren't being met, then the child's not going to learn in the classroom.
providing the services to the needy families.
Down the hall, parents like Juanita Salinas are paying it forward.
It's a norm for some of these families not to have a blanket.
The donated fabric is turned into quilts.
We give them to the students, we take to their homes.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
A Valley school district.
It's all about the whole child. And it's not just academics, but it's the social needs as well, their basic needs.
Working to protect their own as the temperature drops. Because of the limited funding, Weslaco ISD works with a number of programs, including Teach the Children and Tim's Coats. We bring back Tim Smith for this segment. Tim, can you explain how Tim's Coats works?
It's really quite simple. If you've got a coat you don't need, you simply take it to one of our participating dry cleaners. You can see that list on our website. What they'll do is they'll clean them. If it needs a button, they'll add the button to it, the zipper, whatever it may need. And then from there, they'll distribute them through Catholic Charities and the Salvation Army. There's the list of cleaners from across the valley. And you can see they pretty much valley-wide locations. So find the one closest to you and grab those coats and get them out there.
Today's report, in the case of Weslaco ISD, tiny children and their parents reap the benefits of Tim's Coats. So maybe a good reminder to folks out there that the variety of coats and jackets really are needed.
Right. We have a special need for children's coats, but everybody, all coats we can use, because on a day like today, just go outside for about 5 minutes with a short sleeve shirt on and you'll find out that a coat is needed, and that goes for children and parents alike.
Okay, and pretty quickly, if folks are staying indoors with these chilly temperatures and they're out cleaning their coat closets, what do they need to do tonight?
Once again, go to one of those participating dry cleaners. One coat will help one person. Think about that. Keep one person warm with that one coat that you don't need anymore. Get it to those cleaners, and we'll get them cleaned up and out to the folks as quickly as we possibly can. It's going to be cold again tomorrow, but it's going to be cold again next week, so let's get her done.
Homelessness is an increasing epidemic plaguing the United States. It is striking Americans of every age, ethnicity, and religion. And it's hitting communities right here in the Valley. Tomorrow on Channel 5 News at 10, our Oscar Adame shows you the families who went from living in a perfect home to living out of the back of their family truck. Their everyday struggles to survive and the hope that keeps them alive.
We're following a traffic alert right now. A wreck along southbound lanes of 281 causing some major traffic problems right now.
Now, this is a look from our WeatherBug camera. The accident is between the Nolana overpass and the Sioux Road overpass. We're told first responders have closed most of the lanes in that area. Only one lane is open right now.
You know, I want to direct your attention to the middle left side of the screen. You can see where the holdup is. After the Sioux Road overpass, traffic is flowing just fine, but right there in that spot, that's the area you're going to want to avoid or slow down. You're asked to use extra caution if your drive takes you in that area over the next several minutes. We're going to keep on top of this traffic alert. Stand by for more information.
Republicans are thinking about throwing in some must-pass spending bills to stop any action on immigration.
Just the thought is drawing comparison to last year's government shutdown over health care. Our Letty Garza live in the studio. She's tracking the details. Letty?
That's right, Mel Carey. So far, 2 senators are threatening to use an upcoming must-pass spending bill to try and block the president from using executive action. The must-pass bill could be enacted either next month or next year. Tens of thousands of child and teenage migrants showed up at our border with Mexico earlier this year. The president has said he will use his executive powers to protect millions of illegal immigrants from that is deportation. Now, Republicans are on the move and have given the Appropriations Committee the green light to negotiate a spending bill. Well, the president's determination to move forward with his promised executive action, despite election results, has become a major point of conflict between congressional Republicans and the White House. Well, a temporary spending measure expires December 11th, and a partial government shutdown would occur if Congress doesn't act by then. Live in the studio, Letty Garza, Channel 5 News at 5.
Violent protests over the disappearance of 43 college students are taking a toll on tourism in Mexico. Hotels in Acapulco have seen massive cancellations. Monday is a national holiday commemorating the 1910 Mexican Revolution. More cancellations have been registered for Christmas week. That's the busiest time of year for Acapulco tourism. The students disappeared after they were attacked in September by police in Iguala and later handed over to members of the Guerreros Unidos gang. Testing still needs to be done on human remains located along a river in Cocula. The remains were located after confessions by 3 suspects who admitted to executing those students. Pope Francis is expressing solidarity with the people of Mexico following the disappearance and the possible killing of those 43 students. The Pope says that he knows the students were assassinated and he is praying for their families. Mexican officials are still investigating the students' disappearance.
Cameron County's Judge Carlos Cascos says he's ready to make changes just one day after he was plucked to be Secretary of State. Texas Governor-elect Greg Abbott nominated Cascos, who must still be approved by the Texas Senate. His responsibilities are set to begin at the end of January. Cascos told us being accessible to the public tops his priority list.
One of the criticisms that I've heard is that people don't get their phone calls returned promptly, they don't respond to emails. I respond very quickly to people, or at least I try. I respond very, very quickly. So one of my requests of everyone working is that they return everybody's phone call, everybody's email, within a 12 to 24-hour period.
Cameron County commissioners will appoint a judge until one is permanently selected in the next general election in 2016. Happening within the next 30 minutes, the city of Donna, the city council there will approve the date for a runoff election. The meeting is set for 5:30 this afternoon, and a Channel 5 News crew is en route. They're considering Tuesday, December 2nd. A runoff is needed to decide the mayor and city council member place 4. Candidates failed to get more than 50% of the votes last Tuesday.
A major settlement between a Texas hospital and an Ebola patient's family. The hospital that is paying up for a mistake that could have cost numerous lives.
We definitely confirm that the lander is on the surface.
One giant leap for mankind happened today in space. We're tracking the touchdown, a decade in the making. Stay with us.
Breaking news. Breaking stories. This is Channel 5 News with Oscar Adame, Melissa Correa, and First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith. This is Channel 5 News at 5.
Friday at last.
The hospital that treated the only Ebola patient to die in the U.S. has agreed to pay an undisclosed amount of money to that man's family.
The White House is upping its asking price in the meantime and now wants Congress to hand over $6 billion to fight Ebola. Brandy Hitt is tracking it all.
1 month after Thomas Eric Duncan's death, a settlement has been reached between the Duncan family and the hospital where he died.
I believe this facility is an outstanding facility, and we as humans, we are not perfect. We make errors.
Dallas's Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital mistakenly sent Duncan home in September after he told the staff he had traveled to Africa. Days later, Duncan returned sick by ambulance and died from the disease.
We made a mistake and we lost one, but we can save 1,000.
With more than 5,100 Ebola deaths in West Africa and 14,000 becoming sick, the White House is now asking Congress for $6 billion to fight Ebola overseas and in the U.S.
It will be about the purchase of PPE, that personal protective equipment, training of thousands of healthcare workers.
Don't you cut our patients' care. Thousands of nurses are hitting the picket lines this week demanding better protection when treating Ebola. The latest patient just released Ebola-free this week in New York.
Today I am healthy and no longer infectious.
So far, Duncan is the only patient to die from the disease in the U.S. Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital saying in a statement, "We are grateful to reach this point of reconciliation and healing for all involved." The amount of the Duncan family settlement is not being disclosed, but by state law cannot exceed $250,000. The hospital is helping with the memorial fund in Duncan's name to help victims of Ebola. Brandy at ABC News, Los Angeles.
Cold and rainy across the valley all day today. Tomorrow, maybe not so much rain, but still cold. When we come back, we'll take a look at your First Warn 5 forecast for El South, Las Milpas, Four Corners, and the rest of the valley. Next.
And now, First Warn 5 weather with Chief Meteorologist Tim Smith.
Hey folks, it's a messy afternoon across the valley. A lot of rain, especially in the eastern half of the valley right now. Back in Starr County, not so much, but it's just been raining now for a few hours in many areas. Rainfall totals about a half an inch. We have a WeatherBug camera. Let's go back to it right here in Farr, looking northward. And the accident was up here. It cleared a little while ago, and all the traffic that was backed up just went right down to the interchange and is now backed up down here. But that's just regular 5 o'clock interchange traffic. So it is a slow go today in the wet highways across most of the valley. 46 degrees there. It's a cold one. Let's go back to the maps and take a look tonight. Now, these are the currents, 40s and 50s across the area. Look at our forecast lows, down around 40 to 43 across most of the area. 38 tonight in Raymondville, 48 on the island. Tomorrow we don't recover much. Our highs still only in the 40s tomorrow. So another cold day tomorrow. Probably less rain, but just as cold. So at least it won't be raining everywhere, so it'll feel a little better. And then tomorrow night, underline tomorrow night, look at this. With just a little bit of clearing, temperatures get down to perhaps freezing in Starr County. The rest of the valley just a little bit above that mark, but it's going to be a cold night tomorrow night across the area as well. So this is a pretty serious air mass. Now tomorrow, 48 for a high, Friday 57, Saturday back to 72, and Sunday will be in the 70s as well, but then another front comes in and brings another shot of chilly air. Now this is tonight. Notice the rain kind of filters itself out, and we end up with, by tomorrow, just a lot of clouds along the coast. I don't know that we're going to see any sunshine tomorrow. This model hints that things will thin out, but I don't think sun's going to be a big deal. And then tomorrow night, we're just mostly cloudy and chilly. You saw the readings. And then Friday, by then, maybe a little bit of sunshine. Winds come back out of the south. That helps warm temperatures up a little bit, and by Saturday, again, we're back in the 70s. But notice there's still moisture along the coast. Can't completely rule out a shower Friday or Saturday. Chances go from 30% down to 10 for Friday, back to 20 for Saturday. Best chances will be near the coast. Bigger picture shows all the moisture over the area. If we zoom out and look at it, once you get north of about San Antonio, this big batch of thick stuff is away, but even now, North Texas seeing some cloud cover as well. So the fronts push away tomorrow and Thursday. Tomorrow is Thursday into Friday. The fronts continue to push away. High pressure moving eastward. By Saturday, here comes the front back to the north. Briefly warmer, but then late Sunday, this front comes in and cools things off once again. By the way, it's cold. 18 in Amarillo, 32 in Abilene, 36 in Dallas. A cold day across the Lone Star State. So 40 tonight, breezy and cold. The rain kind of confines itself to the lower valley later on. And then tomorrow, cloudy and cold again, about 48 for a high with spotty drizzle. Best chance of that'll be near the coast. Next 3 days, look how quickly we warm back up. By Sunday, we're at 78, and then boom, the bottom falls out again, back in the 50s for Monday and Tuesday. That's your updated First Warn 5 forecast.
An historical deal has been reached to dramatically reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Coming up, how much the U.S. and China are agreeing to cut back.
And the mission to land on a comet. Did it happen? Find out in 2 minutes.
A mission that once seemed to be science fiction is now a reality. A washing machine-sized space probe has landed on a comet.
Yeah, a 2.5-mile wide comet that barreled through space at nearly 84,000 miles per hour. Marcy Gonzalez reports on why this is a triumph for space exploration.
What may sound like science fiction is now science reality. A spacecraft landing on a comet for the first time ever.
We definitely confirm that the lander is on the surface.
We are sitting on the surface. Philae is talking to us. More data to come. And we are on the comet.
Since blasting into space in 2004, the European Space Agency's Rosetta spacecraft has been slingshotting around the solar system to catch up with Comet 67P. It is as old as the solar system, and scientists believe it may hold answers to some of our planet's biggest mysteries.
If life really emerged on Earth, or if it might have been brought to Earth via such comets many billion years in the past.
To collect data that will hopefully unlock those secrets, this morning Rosetta launched a small lander called Philae. It's roughly the size of a washing machine and managed to land on the comet, which is just about 2.5 miles wide and is speeding at nearly 84,000 miles per hour.
The spacecraft is very healthy, and we have had just right now a go from the flight control team.
Rosetta already picking up this unexplained noise from the comet and sending back what's being described as comet selfies. And Philae is already transmitting information from the surface of that comet. Scientists calling today's success a, quote, big step for human civilization. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
U.S. and China will be slashing their greenhouse emissions. The announcement is being called an environmental breakthrough. President Obama said the U.S. will reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 28% by 2025. China's president said his nation's emissions will reach their peak by 2030. This marks the first time China has ever agreed to any sort of carbon reduction goal. The scientists say that greenhouse gases are the cause of global warming.
As the world's two largest economies, energy consumers, and emitters of greenhouse gases, we have a special responsibility to lead the global effort against climate change. That's why today I am proud that we can announce a historic agreement.
China is the world's worst polluter. The U.S. comes in second. Together, they account for 1/3 of all carbon emissions worldwide. Republicans already blasting this deal. Senator Mitch McConnell called the carbon deal an unrealistic plan that will ensure higher energy costs and fewer jobs.
The wreck we told you about just a few minutes ago on Channel 5 News at 5 along the southbound lanes of Highway 281 still causing some major traffic delays. You see it there.
Yes, this is a look from our WeatherBug camera. The accident was between the Nolana overpass and the Sioux Road overpass. It is now clear, but of course traffic is still backed up. There's lots of traffic right now.
Yep, 5 o'clock traffic, rain dropping down as you can see from this live picture. After the Sioux Road overpass, traffic is flowing fine. Remember, the roads are slick. Be sure to slow down if you're headed towards that area. Tim?
And it will be damp this evening across most of the valley, although the rain may taper off in the upper valley. Temperatures going down a little, 48, 47, 45. Cold night out there across the valley with a little bit of drizzle. We'll check that forecast for the next 7 days when we come back.
Black Friday at last.
In 30 minutes, a bizarre twist. A woman was attacked 7 years ago. Her attacker is now accused of killing a Border Patrol agent. She is talking to Channel 5 News about why the man accused should never have been released.
Plus, the number of kidnappings on the rise here in the Valley. We talked to local authorities about what to look out for.
Another cold day in the Valley tomorrow. Temperature spending the day in the 40s again. You take a look at the 7-day forecast. We do bounce back a little bit Friday. The weekend we're in the 70s, but I think there could be a shower or two either day. Another front late Sunday cools it off again for early next week. 50s by day and 40s by night. But tomorrow looks a lot like today, maybe just a little bit less rain. An update for you at 6 o'clock.
Thanks so much for sticking with us today. Be safe on the roads.
Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.